Greetings and welcome to the Talk to Me America show, where the world wants to know what you have to say. So call me and tell them like it is. All right, as far as I can tell, everything had sound. I was testing it as I was doing the intro. Let me know if you can't hear me on one of these platforms. I am on YouTube, Rumble, and Odysee this evening. Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you for being here. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm your hostess, ldghwih, or LDG for short. Always wanted one of those monograms back in the 80s, and I didn't get one. All right. Thank you for clicking on my little acre of the internet today. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everyone had a fantastic week. It looks like we got all kinds of people waiting on me already here. Thank you for being here. You guys must not have had anything better to do. All right. Bruin Backhand. I am doing very well. Thank you so very much. And yes, Rumble is very much better in a lot of things. You never can tell. Toasty. And I see limited access is over there on Rumble, so I'm going to have to check out Rumble too. Good one, Lady Ninja. King of Casual wants to know what I got in all of them drawers. I actually did a show where I showed you a bunch of stuff that I had in them drawers. I'll show you one thing. In fact, this is kind of my favorite drawer, but I gotta sell all of these things eventually. That's part of my artwork. If you can see, that's a ginormous cicada. Laying belly up on my front porch one day, I was like, ooh, let's entomb him in resin forever. And my cat brought me this. I'm surprised it was still intact. There might be a little fluffer, but he got a hold of the body somehow, and what can I tell you? So yeah, stuff like that there. Of course, there's a couple of pens and pencils and pads and stuff like that for the office and stuff like that too. It actually keeps all kinds of goodies. Maybe one day I'll have another show and do that again. I'll show you what's in my drawers. DJ Brandwreck, welcome to the show. Sagacious Cow, welcome, welcome. You're welcome, King of Casual. Like I say, maybe I'll do a whole show on it, or a video or something like that. Sparky the Welder, welcome to the show. I hope I don't miss anybody. Adam. How are you doing? They keep telling me that he's gay, but whatever. I don't care. All right, I'm going to do, let's see. Shocked it's within arm's reach and so small. I thought it was a big cupboard far against the back wall. Nope. My house ain't that big. I got a little teeny weeny shotgun house, if you will. Kinda. Anyway, I don't know if you know what that means. It's a long and thin house. All right. Anyway, my plugs for the evening, of course, 451 Actual with his Big Dick Energy Brigade show on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday mornings. I think it, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern. Pastor Chatelet, and of course, of the Pond, Red Dawn Radio, DJ Brandwreck. He actually has a 24/7 show. I actually, sometimes, if I can't sleep or something, I tune right into that. And he's usually either playing Aqua Teen, Hunger Force. This is just the stuff that I catch so far. Married with Children, which I adore. Something else that I've seen on your channel. Bunches of videos and stuff like that. Stuff you haven't heard in a long time. Cool conglomerations of different videos that come together. 451 Actual. Thank you so much for the donation. You get one of these. I love my Lady Liberty. And Pastor Chatelet, I just shouted you out. All right. Of course, the Drunken Rocky right after my show tonight, 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. You guys are sticklers, but, some of us don't live in Eastern. I used to live in Eastern Time, but what can I tell you? Raynouth, Tuesdays and Saturdays and every weekday at 5, along with Town, Axe Truth, DJ Based, which I saw him last week. I'm the new MTV. Come check me out sometime. Yes. He reminds me of MTV and TV Land mixed together. In fact, it'd be really cool if you could do some Lucy shows and stuff like that. Of course, Kevin with the Chaotic Coffee with Kevin. I saw him this morning. 2 minutes to midnight. Magical Trevor. Reverend Rant. I saw him a few minutes ago. He was eating chips earlier, it looked like. Some guy from Maine who's actually doing some modern music at the moment. And then, of course, the men with the plan. Roo-ga-roo. And MBB, and of course, Town, they do this wonderful, fantastic site, interactive TV guide. But they've grown it and expanded it. I can remember when it was just he made it up and he would send out just a JPEG of everybody that was doing this. But we've grown so much, and everything else has grown so much. You see me there, and then of course on air. Oh, who do we have here? Dr. Natas. Oh, are you competing for my love there, Dr. Natas? He comes on at the exact same time that I do. All right, buddy. God bless you. Actually, I love Dr. Natas. He is the sweetest. And to be honest with you, I don't know how many people saw him on Reverend Rant's show, but he took off the eyeballs, and very beautiful human being, inside and out, inside and out. But I can't imagine anybody that would want to cover up a smile like his. All right, so make sure you support all of the purebloods on this channel, on this TV guide, and of course they've also got a news conglomerate now as well. Town handles that part. They're also looking for people to write articles. And do you guys want opinions or actual, like, hard-hitting journalism, or does it matter, or whatever? If somebody wants to write for the site, they're looking for people that write for the site. I heard Lucy. Guess what's next on the list of upcoming shows? Lucy? Cool. She was awesome. She actually had quite the torrid, I would say, for her day and age. She had quite the torrid background. She was quite the flirt. And of course, like I say, here's the news. You got the TV guide, roundtable news desk, cool. Social medias, you can contact them, and like I say, if you would like to write for this site and everything like that, they're always accepting pros, I suppose. I'm a poet and I don't even know it. All right. Of course, you know the other ways you can support the channel. All my links are below. I'm on PayPal, of course, for the diehards. But I've also got a, what do they call that? A Cash App. In fact, if you can't scan my Cash App, which is right below me there, there's my ID. Real simple. I'm surprised they didn't make me put a bunch of exclamation points and all that other stuff in it. But there you go. There's my ID. $ D. Capital D, capital G, capital D, capital G, capital D, capital G. DGddss. That chick is... In fact, I actually... And I didn't save it because I thought it was so stupid, but I saw somebody doing they did a short video, and they were literally warbling that. Capital... capital. It was like, oh, holy shit, I can't believe somebody tried to turn that into something gorgeous. The person could sing too, so I was like, oh no, you didn't. No. Brit Barbie. She actually reminds me of one of my cousins a long time ago. All right. Let's see. I also have Ko-Fi, and I've got memberships. You can also super chat me on Odysee and on Rumble. Like I say, I've got what are the memberships? I got a membership on Odysee, and I got a membership on Ko-Fi. No exclusive stuff, just if you want to tip me and make sure that you help me grow, perhaps I can add some stuff like that soon if I keep growing. I also hope that you guys are going to get me the clips and the stingers. I know that I've been trying to get together with Badass Brad Allen. He's got an idea for us, and I think it's a great idea, and I think you guys will all love it. It's just we're like two ships to pass on the night. I haven't been able to get together with him. Actually, all you need to do is just write me a script, and I'll record it as Vincenzo, whatever it is you guys want to do. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. All right. Of course, like I say, I like to be able to support you guys, and I love the stinger idea and everything like that. 451 is it's actually not a new idea, but 451 started it within our network, as far as I can tell, and it actually is it's awesome. It's an awesome idea. I love it. All right, I'm going to open the phone lines now. I'm hoping somebody will have something to say about this. I'm going to talk about women again. Actually, it's kind of good news. It's good I like hearing this, and it's about time. I just hope it's not too late. So, phone lines are now open if you want to call in and talk to the world. We are the Talk to Me America show. It's the open line talk show. There he is, Rougarou. Oh yeah, DJ Brandwreck also plays all your stingers and commercials too, so it's worth it to do that, because it seems like all of us are going to do that now. It's actually a way for all of us to grow, and like I say, I think it was a brilliant idea. 451 Actual has always got some brainstorm going on that actually works out to the max, so... All right. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I'm not missing anybody so far that joined the show. Fog! Behave yourself now, dude. All right. Or whoever you are. Been banned. Did someone say there's an owl up in here? Maybe. Yes, Dr. Natas is streaming right now. Yes, thank you for being here, Kevin. I enjoyed your shows. It's like listening to Laura while Dr. Natas and his wife have a polite conversation behind me, and soon Marine's music will compete with the scenario. Wow, you sure do. You sure are able to multitask well. I'm jealous. Okay, this seems to be a thing, so I'm throwing my days into the ring too, as far as that goes. So for me, it's day number 20,847 of being a woman. And I'm happy to say that women are actually starting to stand up and speak out about being erased by these men who think they can be us. And it's not so much that, but they're trying to convince everyone and force everyone to believe that they're better women than us. No, because it's not just a feeling. You're born that way. In fact, what happened to that? It was such a prevalent thing. They were so into, well, I'm so this and so that. I was born this way, so don't question it. Well, two can play at that game. All right? And then, of course, another thing that bothers me about it is the fact that a lot of them now try to act like they're some kind of victim because they know they can't be us. And it bothers them that they can't be us. In fact, I've even seen one guy crying on TikTok because he knows he will never get pregnant. I'm sorry, dude. Some things you just gotta live with. I'm sorry, it's just the way life is. What can I tell you? Besides that 'twas a blessed curse set upon women for you to be able to do your job to protect women and their babies. And your babies. But no! You want to be a woman and act like some kind of big baby when women don't just accept you into their circles just because you try to be us. Or look like us. Or, all of that. Now, I don't know if we can ever get it through anyone's head that there are women's only spaces on purpose. It's because we really don't trust most men, and to be honest with you, most men, and you guys can attest to this, most men will even admit that if they can get a piece or a glance or whatever it is, they will. It's almost an uncontrollable thing. It's something that you pretty much can't breed out of a man or shame out of him or anything like that. They're going to do what they're going to do. That's right, not me, B. I'm surprised they haven't canceled that movie. Adam says, men are pigs. They can be. They can be. All right. And some men, and I was going to say, and there's some men, and you've seen who they are. Some women have been doing videos about this kind of thing too, but they even take a chance glance, like if you glance at them or something like that, and they take it like a hello or something, or an accidental brush as an invitation. You guys have made these guys this thirsty. Feminism has shunned all men, have actually seemed to make men way, way more thirsty for a woman's touch. This is another way that I've been looking at it as I study it. It seems that there are more than a few reasons why men want to do this. It seems almost like as if they don't see that they're using the mating game against yourselves and most men. One of the things that came to my mind and started making me think in this way was because of the fact that my great grandmother always told me that men want what they know they cannot have. So she always told me to make sure that I play hard to get to know the true character of a man, just to see how long a person would hang out. After 3 or 4 dates, if a man didn't hang out, all I wanted, that's all they wanted. They'd move on to the next one, basically, essentially. And of course, she told me that, and of course, her other piece of advice was a stiff prick has no conscience. Now, is that thinking right when it comes from men? It's not necessarily right, but again, it's primal. It's a primal thing. It's an instinct that men have been given, and that's in almost every species, to continue their species. Okay? And yes, unfortunately, when you try to breed or even shame that out of a man, what do you think's going to happen? This is what we get. This is literally what we get. In fact, these next couple of videos I'm going to show you to prove to you what I'm seeing, thank the Lord. Hopefully it's not too late. They're going to tell you some of this stuff. They see all these privileges that we have and the stresses that we don't have to deal with when it comes to even existing as a man. And they, of course, want to become us or their version of us, just enough to step in and take over our spaces that we literally had to fight for up until this day. In fact, we're still fighting the patriarchy, as they want to call it. I feel we're fighting it even harder now, because all we wanted were some of our own rights and spaces away from men and their dominant ways. Now, they're invading all of our spaces, sports and competitions. In fact, it boggles my mind. Since when do so many men want to win beauty contests? In fact, beauty contests for women were like football games for men. You had very, very, very few women that would want to really watch football unless they just wanted to be by their husband or whatever like that. And I remember the same thing when me and my sister and all of the girls would have tea or whatever and watch one of these pageants. The guys would be like, oh, God, yeah, or whatever. So yeah. And why are the folks that wouldn't win a contest like this, even if they were the right sex, winning these things over all of these women? So again, good to see women are starting to clap back on this ridiculousness. However, like I say, I had a little bit of a different idea about all of this, mainly because I try to look at it through a Christian and understanding eyes about everything. There's always more than one or two sides to any kind of thing. All right, we got a phone call already. Greetings, you are on the air.
I knew you couldn't wait to hear from me.
Well, hello there. This is Reverend Rant, everyone. Say hello, Reverend Rant.
Hello, Hello, Reverend Rant.
Oh, ah.
So, I was listening. I know, crazy, right?
Yeah, I'm amazed that anybody listens to whatever I have to say.
Oh, Laura. We absolutely enjoy your show.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much.
So, I wanted to share with you a little bit and interrupt you because it's just fun. But that's the thing with these people on the left is they have this idea that they're going to rewrite humanity. That's the basis of what, this whole post-humanism movement is about. They think they're going to just recreate, like they're so arrogant that they think they're going to take the place of God, which in the face of things is ludicrous, in itself. But here's the thing: anybody who has spent any time in psychology and like the actual study of psychology, not just psychiatry, you begin to understand the patterns of humanity. And one of the things is that's part of the patterns of humanity is what they refer to as the biological imperative to reproduce. And over time, we have developed a certain game theory, strategy system towards the biological imperative to reproduce. So everything that we do as part of that male-female dance to survive, to reproduce, to push, our DNA forward in the world. And it's literally, instinctual. It's part of who we are. And no matter how much these people try to rewrite, the human experience, the reality is that we already come pre-programmed, and it's part of our operating system. And these people just want to ignore that, like walk past it like it doesn't exist. They don't even want to address it. They just want to pretend that we're supposed to just, turn it off. Mm-hmm. And that's where this whole, the entirety of everything that they're doing wrong stems from that. Is they want to completely overlook the human condition. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've turned psychology into something that is just not true anymore. I'm gonna say, and even these people, and you can see if you observe these folks, they still have the same wants and desires as everyone else. They're not really any that much different. They just want more attention than the rest of us. This is the way this is the way that they've thought about getting it, and it works.
And you're exactly right. And what we're watching them experience is part of the reason why they're so miserable. Is because this is another case of cognitive dissonance. Mm-hmm. While they're telling everybody else that you're supposed to love and cherish her man penis, and you're supposed to love trans women now because we said so, damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, but they scream this rhetoric while they recognize in their own personal sexualities that they only like or are attracted to this specific type of person.
Right.
Or this specific type of behavior. And they can't reconcile in their own heads that everybody else might actually have the same exact issue. You could tell me any story that you like. You could try to scream at me. You could beat on me. You could do everything you want to. But there's still a specific type of woman that I'm going to be attracted to.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like I said, you can't breed that, shame that, you can't beat that out of a person. That is already ingrained. That's been ingrained in you since the beginning of man.
Right. And the crazy part is with these little retards, and I do say retard lovingly because I literally mean like developmentally challenged retards, like the literal definition of the word. I don't mean it as a hyperbolic, ad hominem attack. I mean, these people are literally cognitively disabled.
Slow. Retard means slow.
Yes. And here's the thing is that they don't want to rewrite psychology. This is the fascinating part of all of this is they're not trying to or attempting to rewrite psychology or rewrite the human condition. They're literally trying to pretend that it doesn't exist.
Right. Well, I've said this before too. It because of the fact that they want to be God, and this actually ties into something that Dr. Natas said on your channel, on your show not too long ago, as far as that goes. But they're trying to turn man into something that God doesn't recognize. They're trying to turn man into something that God did not create.
Yes.
And that's the only way that the devil actually can hurt or maybe even defeat God. But that's not going to happen.
Well, imagine, and this is, I never in my life would have thought that Keanu Reeves would be prophetic. On a personal level, I'm just not that impressed with that guy. I mean, I'm impressed with his acting skills, and he's done a lot, but socially, like, there's some things he just doesn't get. But then you go back and you compare all of this, everything we've been going through, we're constantly comparing it to The Matrix. And maybe I shouldn't give Keanu Reeves, whoever the original author was, that's the guy we should probably be giving the credit to. But here's the thing about it. Imagine if God is like Neo in The Matrix. When he looks at you, he doesn't see you. He sees your code.
Mm-hmm.
Sees his written language in you. Now, everything they're trying to do, what they've established that the mRNA does, is it literally affects your genetic code. So then when he sees your code, he doesn't see his handwriting and therefore doesn't recognize you. That is what I believe. And this, they're trying to do worse than that. And that's what I believe the actual mark of the beast is. It's not just, on your hand or your forehead. It's your entire genetic code.
Mm-hmm.
So when he looks at you and looks at his code, his handwriting, his creation, and he looks at you and sees somebody else's handwriting, he doesn't recognize you as his. You are no more than a beast in his eyes. You are not one of his.
Hello, I'm your ninja. Welcome to the show. Trying not to ignore anyone, dude. Go on. Actually, you can't be more. You couldn't be more right.
Right, but hey, real quick, watch out for those ninja people. They're really sneaky.
Okay. Hey, Cyborg. He's on Rumble. Thank you for joining us on Rumble. I try not to ignore Rumble, but I have to. In order to see the chat on that one, I have to make it big and make it small. So I try not to ignore anyone, though. I don't want to ignore anyone. Hello, Hallie. Welcome to the show. She likes.
You know what
Go ahead.
I plug in a TV to the HDMI out, as a second monitor on my computer.
Yeah.
And then I open, well, in my case, 5 windows, and I overlap them just enough so that each one the chat is showing.
Yeah.
So that I can watch this. I don't worry about watching, the stream replays because I keep Restream open so I can watch, whether or not my streams are working or not.
Well, for some reason or another, my Rumble won't let me do that. When I reduce it and everything like that, it just goes right to the screen. So I don't know what to think.
Don't reduce it. Overlap them. Leave one over top of the other, but stagger them. Like I start to the right. Like I'll move. I'll move Rumble all the way to the right of the screen. Mm-hmm. Like leave it full size, but move it all the way to the right of the screen, and then I'll open a new window. A new browser window, and then I'll take that one to Odysee, and then the same thing, but I'll move it all the way to the right so it's just to the edge, the left edge of Rumble's chat. And then I'll open up Pilled, and then the same thing, I'll move it to where it's just to the left edge of Odyssee's chat, so that from the right going left, I have one chat after the other in a row, and I can watch.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to try that. So I'll have to try that. Because the reason I do it this way is because you can actually pull the chat out of the Odysee. I only watch a little tiny speck of just to make sure that it's running.
Yeah, I do that too. I do the pop outs where I can, but even with the ones I can't, but I stagger them from right to left. And I have the TV so it's right up close to my camera, so I'm not looking too far away from my camera when I'm looking at the chats.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my little piece of advice of how I do things.
Okay. I'll try that next time.
Oh, kids, we're not trained professionals, but we play one on TV.
We play one on the internet.
Yes. It's the Bigger Hammer Repair Company. If it doesn't work, we'll get a bigger hammer. I think that's who Paul Pelosi called.
At least the guy that hit him with it did, probably.
Right.
Yeah, they're still trying to spin that even after seeing what happened. It's kind of weird, but.
Well, they did. There was security footage of him breaking in from the back door.
Yep.
Which I didn't believe that. I didn't believe that he broke in.
Yeah, it blew my mind that he got through that big of a hole, that small of a hole, though. Because that guy was pretty big. But watched him climb through it.
But the police also admitted that they knew him to be a regular at that house. And the Secret Service, all of that. Like, he was a regular visitor, and maybe they had a falling out about something, but that still doesn't change my mind that there was something more going on.
Oh, Nancy probably didn't pay him for his pictures that he took up in Washington. He was a photographer for them up in Washington.
That is very, very possible.
I've noticed, I used to work for a woman that was a yellow dog Democrat, and whenever she decided she didn't want to pay somebody, she wouldn't. She had to run away after a while because she even owed the government after doing stuff that was wrong. But yeah, man, when she decided she wasn't going to pay somebody, she just stopped, they weren't doing the job. Yeah. She just stopped paying them. She wouldn't talk to them. She wouldn't do anything. Just stop paying them. And then, of course, everybody else in the office had to figure out why things wouldn't work or weren't working because she stopped paying her monthlies to these companies that were taking care of the computers and the printers and all this other stuff. And just all of a sudden, she just stopped paying people. So that side seems to have a habit of doing that shit for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, she tried to do it to us when she laid us off, and I was like, oh, no, you don't.
I seen
Hello, Raynaud.
A guy here, where I live, he ripped off some people that he owed money to.
Mm-hmm.
And they went out during the day while he was gone working. They got a ladder, climbed up on his brand new metal roof, and walked around with cordless drills poking holes everywhere.
Yep.
By the time he figured it out, it was thousands and it was only a few $100s that he owed, but it was thousands of dollars in damage.
Yeah, that's what happens when you screw with people's money.
And I'm not advocating that anybody do crazy shit like that, but I am saying be careful who you rip off because some people are a little bit crazy.
Oh, yeah. They'll show you. Bobby, welcome to the show. And there's the drunken Rocky. Oh, Rocky. Don't forget his show is on after mine tonight. Plug your show, man.
Hey, I was going to say, by the way, so everybody knows, I am starting to, on my regular channels, I am playing replay streams where I'm letting all my past Boiling Point streams, replay. So if anybody wants to hang out, they're replaying on Rumble as well as Odysee, and I will probably have Pilled Up in the next couple days. This is something I just started doing. I reallocated a server for it. So if anybody wants to hang out, Boiling Point is up. Everybody, you're following me already. If you're not following me, make sure to hit that like button. And I'm going to start going live on Sundays, Wednesdays, and now I'm going to start Fridays as well.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be
before or after Salty?
Before. It'll be 4 p.m., same time, Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Oh, okay. All right. Make sure you check out, what is it called again now? The Boiling Point now?
Boiling Point. Yeah.
Yeah, this man changes his name like he changes his underwear.
No, that's Here's the thing. You know, the American Ranch Show was a great place to start, but it doesn't garner as much attention as a name like Boiling Point or like Breaking Point or Turning Point. You see what I'm saying?
Ah, you did it for the attention then.
Yes. Yeah, well, I can't unite patriots. I can't share the information if I'm not reaching everybody, and I don't want to leave myself cornered into a pigeonhole. I want to reach out and get everybody's attention. I want everybody to participate. I would like, and I know it sounds like a big deal, but you know what? Dreams without goals are just dreams. I'm shooting for 10 million.
Okay.
I want to have an effect on society. I want to share the information. I want to be able to encourage and inspire. And here's the greatest thing about it is every time I get online, I do a show or I get in Jitsi, there's all these conversations happening. This is all of us sharing our information, sharing our support and our inspirations with each other. And I want to grow that. I want to grow our community, and I want to help unite America. And I think that's an important thing for all of us to do, not just me, but I'm going to do my part. So I'm shooting big. My goals are going to supply my dreams.
That's the way to do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, concentrate on the goal. That's it. All right. Drunken Rocky, thank you so much for the donation. You get one of these. So
on that note, I will let you be.
All right. Well, thanks so much for calling. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
This is an open call. You need to tell the entire world. So definitely come on down. Click on them numbers.
We all have to get our parts. And then also I want to do for everybody out there who's a content creator on Friday nights, I want to do content creator panel, Friday evening, night, whatever you want to call it. I want to do content creator panel. So you, Laura, invited everybody who has a channel and is a creator. I want all of us to get together and be able to talk about, like the week in review, talk about what's going on, and just go wherever it goes.
Sure. I love being on other people's shows when I have time.
Well, you are always welcome on my show, especially anytime I do one of these panel shows. If you're available, you always bring something good to the table, and everybody appreciates that.
You bet. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's nice to be valued.
You are definitely valued. So I will see you later, Miss Ma'am. You have a good evening.
All right.
I'll see the rest in the chat.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling. You have a great night.
You too.
Good night. All right. I'm your ninja. Thank you so much for the donation. You get one of these. All right. On that note, what he was speaking about as far as standing up and everybody getting their voices heard out, and this is like I say, this is the continuation of, like I say, the women are starting to roar about this. But like I say, I try to look at it through understanding eyes about everything that I look at, and this question actually came to me while I was doing this, while I was doing the research for this, and while I was listening to the young ladies on these videos. Can we really be surprised that these men will literally do anything to be by us women, even to become us, so that we let them into our spaces? Because I'm also seeing videos of what they called incels. And of course, if you know what an incel is, supposedly some guy, guys that can't figure out a way to be with women or get a woman to love them or whatever like that. I'm not real sure exactly. But even them now are starting to say that they're trying to they're transitioning, and it's not because they have any dysphoria. It's because of the fact that they see the privileges and the way that women are and the way that we can do things and get away with things, evidently. And because they can't get with us in the normal way, they transition and get with us in that way. And it's not even really necessarily, I guess, sexual. I haven't like delved that far into it, but it seems to me just like they want companionship. And I mean, that's what I was talking about when I said, you know, no matter what they try to do to themselves or change themselves, they are still the same as every human being, which humans want companionship. Humans want relationships. You know, they want to be loved. They also want to be affirmed as far as that goes. So, I mean, you know, they're looking for it all in all the wrong places in some aspects, if you will. So, but this, like I say, this makes me proud. This makes me, I just hope that it's not too late. Listen to this young lady. She is Mo Brown 89 on Twitter, or excuse me, TikTok.
Let me say this. I don't have a problem with the trans community at all, but this shit is getting ridiculous. If you say as a trans woman, you want to be called her, she, whatever you decide, even though you are a trans woman, if you want to be called her, she, fine, that I'm going to respect that, and I'm gonna do that. So me as a woman, if I say don't call me a cis woman, I'm just a woman. You should respect that. I'm not no motherfucking birthing person. I'm not a chest feeder. I'm not a bleeder. I'm a fucking woman. And that's what the fuck you're gonna refer to me as. And you cannot ask for respect while disrespecting women. And that's what the fuck we get for trying to be allies and shit. Look, now they just trying to wipe us the fuck out. Now look at us, we're looking stupid. Dumb shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't see any wrong there. This is another one that caught my attention because of this. Dylan Mulvaney started this trend, day whatever, everybody, the day in the life of whatever you want to be or trying to transition into. But you'll like this. Go ahead.
Day 12 of being a girl, and we're going to go buy tampons.
Day 11,989 of being a girl, and I am fed up with being looked at like a freaking costume. Trying to call us chest feeders and birthing persons wasn't enough, or putting biological men in women's sports wasn't enough. There are trans people on this app that have been trans for 20, 30, 40 years. Even they are fed up because all they're trying to do is live their life, and now it's being looked at as a trend. And this person right here is doing it because it's trendy. We are also not cis women. We never asked to be called that. So stop calling us that. We are women. We are biological women, and we are so sick and tired of the fucking games. It is disrespectful to us and also disrespectful to the real trans community who is just out there trying to live their lives without flaunting every single day.
Oh, shame on you. It's one of the things I love about Odysee is you can see the memes that they send and the little GIFs and everything like that. Some of them are funny as hell. That's hilarious there, Reverend Rant. She was pretty. She was very pretty. Okay. Here's another real woman. You remember that song, 'Cause I'm a Woman? It was a perfume commercial. All right, here you go. This one was 6 minutes long, but I'm going to just give you the highlight, the best part of it. And this is actually goes out to Dylan Mulvaney, but it really does go out to all of these people.
You couldn't do what I do. You couldn't do what me and my sisters do. This isn't just about wearing a fucking skirt. Makeup. Makeup. No, honey.
She works in construction.
Because I'm at work. But I will go for you on the weekends when I can become a female, not a woman, a female. That's when I get to become a female. Today, I am a woman. I am fighting for my family. I'm fighting for every female. You think this job's easy, buddy? You think this is easy? You think it's easy being a woman? It isn't. You are not a fucking woman. I am a woman. And all my sisters that are out there grinding, looking just like me, without having fake tits, fake ass, fake nails, fake everything, that's what a woman is. I don't have time to look pretty. Only on Friday, Saturday nights. Actually, skip the Friday night. I'm too tired. I work 5, maybe 6 days a week. So Dylan, my love, come to work with me. I'll show you what to do. Just be prepared. You're going to need to dress really warm, so I wouldn't wear that cute little skirt. Don't worry about lipstick, because, I mean, you're going to be covered in mud and blood. Nails, probably. What else? I can teach you everything that you need to know about what it's like to be a woman. Starting with this video. This is a woman. Hey, I have a GoFundMe.
Okay. Yeah, she does. She, like I say, she's been in construction for like 26 years or whatever like that. She feeds her family and all that other. She makes good music. She makes decent money, but she also nothing like what Dylan and any of these people that they're pushing on us, like at the Grammys too. The one that won with Sam Smith or whatever. Okay. And this is also very, very, very good news to me. Pro surfer Bethany Hamilton said she will boycott World Surf League events because of its new policies allowing trans women to compete. Bethany Hamilton is a pro surfer best known for her memoir Soul Surfer after her arm being bitten off in a shark attack. Announced she would no longer compete in World Surf League events after the organization updated its policies to allow trans women to compete in women's events. This is how it's done. This is something that I mentioned earlier, is the fact that, you sit here and watch these men that are trying to be women or acting like women or identifying as women. They don't look anything like a woman. They don't, they tower over them, or they just are like mountains compared to some of these women and everything like that. And they want to compete in their sports and everything like that. And they know that they're going to dominate. I mean, you have to know. In fact, I was taller than most of the women that I ever competed with and against in school and everything, and everybody was, and I sucked. But everybody, when they first saw me, they were all afraid of me. Oh man, don't mess with her. So yeah, what can I tell you? Let's see. Bin Ban, Fogg never dealt with a frigid woman. Just poke it past that ice queen. You guys are bad. Never eat at a man's table if you're not willing to work in his garden. TikTok corrupted so many. Yes, you're right, Hallie. But hopefully, like I say, I'm seeing more and more people coming out against this, and you saw some of the people speaking out against it, and they're upset about it. They don't want this stuff to be taking them over. Greetings, you are on the air.
Hi, it's Hallie.
Hello, Hallie.
Hi, I would have normally have shied away from anything about transgenders, and because it's just very distorted. But of course, I enjoy your show. But I think your speaker, the callers, the previous ones that brought up some good points about it. Somehow it's I don't want to say a communist plot, but it seems like a lot of people are disgruntled. But I just wanted to say, sometimes I find a little contradiction that people. Sometimes they'll say, "Well, I have no problem with it." Transgenderism. Well, I do. It's okay, whatever you do private. I think these people should just be helped. But I do notice, talking about what makes a woman, I find these people are very much a contradiction, where they seem to have a hyper feminized or a hyper masculinized, whichever the original gender was. Yeah, like that woman that whatever, she was a construction worker, the hard hat. Yeah, she's not the conventionally feminine type. I admire her. She's just out there working to support her family. I notice that every trans woman is very, very, just very sexualized. So I think there is something going on with these people. Where they're placing their identity, or their I guess they're trying to.
Well, up until recently, cross-dressing was a fetish in some cases.
Yeah.
Some people did it for entertainment. Yeah. Some people did it for entertainment, but there were people that actually would do that on the sly because it satisfied them sexually in some way.
Yeah, erotic. So that's to me what this is sort of. I want to say gay on steroids, or maybe they started out, in their original gender, but gay. They maybe took on the role of the opposite gender in those relationships, or they enjoyed, cross-dressing. But after it's all said and done, I don't condone it in any fashion. But what's interesting to me is, here, instead of competing in women's sports, why don't they just start their own category? But I get the impression they don't like each other very much. It's almost like the joke is like it's like a black Klansman, sort of something contradicting. Underneath there's a self-hatred or a certain form of suicide. I think I mentioned that earlier a while back. You had somebody on the show that spoke about going through the surgeries, yada yada. I think they're killing a part of themselves. But I guess if you hate yourself, you're going to hate somebody who reminds you of yourself. So I'm trying to imagine. I guess that's the reason they can't form their own community or organization or sports group or whatever you want. Whatever the thing is.
Well, I think part of that is the fact that there's not enough of them. They really do make up a very, very small population of the Earth.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not talking about somebody. I guess they call it intersex now. The really a medical condition. They born to undeveloped organs.
A rare one.
Yeah, that's a very rare. The chromosomes the opposite. They look. Somebody who looks like a woman. Whatever. I think scientifically, what their hormones are suppressing the androgen, the production of the correct hormone. There's a whole medical thing going on with them, and I think that, to me, that's the only instance where certain correctional surgery, and I'm not against correctional surgery in general. I mean, I myself, I had a rhinoplastic. The proverbial nose job is to correct my breathing appearance. But in a situation where you're trying to change your essence is something that, the other person, it can't. It seems, I don't know. I guess they're angry. Where you said at the very beginning, I mean, they seem really rabid right now. But they're use a politically incorrect expression, on the war path. Sorry, any Native American listeners, but I think this is too much reality for them right now. There is a pushback, but I've seen this with people when the reality, confronts them, in attacking their defenses, and they're basically having a public breakdown. It seems to be everywhere, all over the press, the media, the organizations. So
they're trying to make it look that way. They're trying to make it look that way so that everybody, because they want everybody to be that way. Again, they're trying to change everybody into something that they're not. And a lot of people are just they're not buying it. That's why I say we were quiet for a while, but now I'm starting to see more and more people say, hey, do what you want.
Yeah.
I don't have any disrespect for you, but stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Well, stay in your lane. Yeah. We wanted somebody who, for example, a community with strong generals. To me, that's deceit. Somebody who goes out of the lane is committing deceit. I mean, you want to go off, I don't know, go live in a little candy land somewhere. I mean, I can't imagine a community with these people that you stay in your lane. I mean, basically, live alone. It's hard. I sympathize with people who aren't the conventionally masculine or feminine type, but ironically, that woman, the foreman, the hard hat, whatever she's not the conventionally feminine type either, but she's functional, normal. She's responsible, mature, supporting her family. She knows she's a woman. You don't have to wear a gown, high heels. I was never that type. Although, I was like, I just had my hair done today. I just, we all,
Well, her first comment was, it's not all about the dresses and the fashion and the nails and the makeup and all of that. It really isn't.
Yeah, it really is. It was the same thing with these feminists that were kind of like, envy. I think there was a hatred and jealousy of men. They wanted to be men, but there's more to being a man than the clothes or the plumbing, the hard work. There's positive masculine qualities, positive feminine, and then the negative of both. But these women seem to have, and I think these transgender types, they seem to have co-opted the worst of both. but they don't really understand what it means to be. Probably the guy growing up not wanting to be a woman, maybe because he just maybe wasn't attracted to baseball. Maybe the society expects a man to like baseball or football. So there is a societal thing. So I think there's a way of accommodating it to say you can like cooking, sewing, but still be a man. What about a tailor? I mean,
Indeed.
He likes to sew, but he's a chef. Yeah, I mean,
up until
there is room for feminine expression.
Yeah, up until not too long ago, men did everything, including acting in women's roles. So I mean,
I know. So I'm saying, look, why? So why you want to be? I don't know. And obviously say they're confused, but I think they have much deeper problems. I think that a lot of them are, I think there was a study that a lot of people on the spectrum don't identify with their biological gender, and so I think they need to look to that. But
well,
still thinking that.
If you're paying attention, a lot of those folks have actually been talked into it. It's just like that one lady said that this guy, with day 13 or whatever it is, and I'm going to go get tampons. That's a mockery. That is a literal mockery. Women don't want to have to use those things. They don't want to have to use that stuff. They don't want to have, but it's something that we got to deal with.
I always dread my periods. Yeah, I know. You just do. Yeah. I mean, I don't. Yeah, it was almost like trivializing. It's like somebody. I mean, it was a very bad example. Somebody wanted to be a doctor because it sounds like, they saw the TV shows and it seemed glamorous and exciting. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of TV, traumatic work. My father was a doctor. You had to put in long hours and get patients die on you. It can be harrowing. You have a lot of responsibility. These people don't want the responsibility. I think they want the trappings. But yeah, I am so glad to see women pushing, real women, that is to speak, pushing back. I just, I hope this whole movement just dies a quick death. I really have. I've gotten to the point where I'm just feeling very, I think they bring out the hate. They make me feel hateful. We never had, even 10 years ago, we never had, had this, people trying to encroach, they are out for blood. I think, they're very unhappy people. That's why they wanted to destroy. But when I hear people say, it's okay to be transgender, just don't, don't lay your trip on us. I'm going, but that's their whole purpose, is to lay their trip on us.
A lot of them have become activists, and it's not necessary.
Yeah, what's a defense? People now, I think all these left-wingers have become defiantly weird. I mean, it's not just being casually weird, quirky. I'm pretty quirky, but it's like as a reaction now. They're gonna just, so I hate. I'd like to be a cockeyed optimist, but I think that I do predict more violence. I mean, at this point, it's right now they're just bothering, but I think that they're going to start physically attacking. I think it just reminded me of whoever killed John Lennon. He wanted to be John Lennon, so they're going to start destroying the real women, anyone that is too much reality for them. So I have a morbid fascination in all this. Maybe just growing up in a crazy household myself, but I just don't know what makes these people tick. I mean, were they abused? Is it just that, or as I said earlier, the multiple problems?
In some cases, you've got a lot of single parent homes now, also too, that the parent has to do nothing but work, so the kid is raised by whomever comes along. Kids crave, kids crave leaders and things like that. They'll push until, that's the reason why they push until, they got to learn. They got to learn who's in charge, and they'll push until something happens or something doesn't happen. It depends on,
Exactly.
But kids actually do crave some kind of scheduling, some kind of
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're empty vessels. They really don't know anything at all until they're taught.
Yeah. I had somebody. Well, I had roommates, people that friends that grew up very similar, without structure. The parents were loose and food. I'm wondering about the mothers, not just the absent fathers. And I was teased a little, some people are having, routine, I mean, sometimes I have to deviate from it. I miss my morning coffee because I have to go somewhere. I have to have my coffee somewhere else. But I tell them, that's normal. I mean, you need structure. I need something to, Anyway, this is how that works. I'll get back to, to the
end purpose.
Main purpose. I just got me riled just watching it. I can't even. I think TikTok's corrupted a lot of people. They want attention. Yeah, obviously it's attention, but I don't know. Are they going to look? I wonder what's going to happen years from now. I don't know. Are they going to look if they even live that long? Because I'm really questioning the longevity of the even the baby boomers. If they don't kill themselves and might die sooner of certain diseases, I honest to God cannot imagine these people living to 80, even living to 60. So it would just be, I think they're really going to see how they were swayed by so many things. Yeah.
Well, people do grow up eventually. Yeah. People do grow up eventually. You gotta hope for that too.
Yeah, so. I hope they don't grow up. Yeah.
No, the real world will kick you in the ass once in a while, and it'll tell you you got to do it this way, or else you ain't gonna get no farther. So yeah.
Well, as I said, that's going back too much reality. They can't deal with it.
Right.
They can't. So it's trying to kill everyone around. If I can't change society, kill it. It's like John Lennon's assassin. I can't be John Lennon. Well, neither can he. He's going to be dead. That's what we're heading toward. All right. Okay. Let's talk to you later. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the show. And,
all right. Well, thanks so much for calling. You have a great evening.
My pleasure. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night. All right. Back to what I was saying. Actually, in kind of sort of way, a lot of what this is happening with this trans thing actually kind of sort of in a way proves to me even more that in our species, men and women complete each other. We need each other. And the way things are going, Mother Nature always naturally tries to correct it. And we all know that some weird shit is going on or is going to happen when you deny nature. All right. That's just my take on it as far as that goes. It's what I see, especially when I'm seeing some of these people being upset that they can't get pregnant and things like that. There's a problem there. But I think it has more to do with the feminists and the fact that the women have basically shunned men and, we don't need you and all this other stuff. What are they supposed to do after that, right? All right. So, but now, I mean, the politics suck to no end, all right? And some forces for evil will definitely take advantage of the ignorant and the dumb on these topics. But if you think about it, these men want to be by us so much that they're willing to become us. I think they want the camaraderie. They want the companionship and stuff like that. And women actually have been turning to each other more and more. All right. At least their interpretation of us. Like I say, a lot of it is woman face. And a lot of these ones that you see getting famous and all this other stuff, that's what they're doing it for. Women don't actually act like that. Not even, I was going to say, you're seeing even some of the older celebrities try to be this way too, and it's not working. It's not working very well at all. But this is what I see when I see that these former incels now, like I was talking about, have started to transition. And they've even admitted it. It's not because they have any kind of dysphoria or anything. It's because the only way it's the only way that they see now of getting close to women that they weren't able to get into before. And about being called anything but a woman, all right, I'm getting to that. We've had a few phone calls. I know this has been a long process, but I'm getting there. Yes, all right. If you can demand that we call you certain things, then so can we. All right. I myself, since everyone wants to be so persnickety, nitpicky about it, and so on the money about it, I prefer being called a Caucasian woman. No more, no less. I'm a Caucasian woman. All right. There ain't nothing white about me. In fact, that's white. Okay. All right. And like I say, if that ain't good enough for you, all right, I don't care who you are, because, there's how many billions of people on the planet? Why you gotta be like all up in one person? I mean, why you gotta make it like that? But if that ain't good enough for you, then you can see your way out of my way. And like the one girl said, you cannot, and I refuse to allow you to demand respect when you are disrespecting others. You can't live a good life if you are a shitty person. Just the way it is. All right, and yes, this is what we get for being allies. In fact, I'd love it to go back to the way it was back in the 80s, because I had a lot of gay friends. I was never judgmental about that kind of thing. You live your life as long as you're not hurting anyone or animals or anything like that. I've always been a live and let live type of person. I guess that's one of the reasons why they were all so attracted to me, because I didn't judge them. I don't give a shit what you do behind closed doors. All right. Now, I know that most of you guys, I'm going to go on to the next subject now. I know most of you guys did not watch the Grammys, and I didn't either this past week. But of course, in my journey to find stuff to share with you guys over the week, I have seen a bunch of highlights, and I've come across a bunch of shit from them on my feeds. Mostly the outrage about the devil worship and blah, 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 and all these other people. In fact, there was so much rigmarole about all these other stuff and everything like that. Somebody got ignored. There was so much bullshit that one of my favorite people got ignored. All right. Song of the Year went to one of my very favorite blues artists, Bonnie Raitt, at 73 years old. And she's Caucasian. Not that that makes any fucking difference, but it seems to them. And you saw, I'm sure you've seen plenty of the highlights as well. Let's see, am I missing anybody today? Oh, Salty Al Bundy, welcome to the show. Skeletor, welcome. I knew you'd be here eventually. Welcome to the show. Appreciate y'all being here. Let me check Rumble real quick, make sure I'm not missing anybody there. Nope, just the Cyborg. It doesn't tell me if anyone is watching or anything on Rumble. I'm still learning how to manipulate around Rumble. Can Killer, and yes, you are correct. You are correct. Anyway, the Song of the Year went to Bonnie Raitt for a song title called Just Like That. It's a beautiful song about a woman whose son disappears, and then 20 or some odd years later, a stranger appears in which his heart, her son's heart was transplanted into him and saved his life, and he came to let her know about it. Very, very moving song indeed. She says it was inspired by someone that died of COVID in 2020, I believe. But the fact that there was an actual regular down-to-earth person who won at least one of the Grammys gives one hope that some normality and grace still exists in the entertainment world. And of course, like I say, Bonnie Raitt has always been one of my very favorites. I sing several of her songs on some of my shows, including Used to Rule the World. That's one of my favorite ones. And talk about a song about life kicking you in the ass. And the fact that you can lose everything in a blink of an eye is just, her music is profound. She's a very accomplished guitar player. My only problem, 11 people on Rumble. Oh, okay. Thank you, Salty Al. I don't know how to see that. I'm looking at it, but there's no numbers or anything. All I can see is the chat and my video running. Dr. Jill Biden is my mom. Nuh-uh, Space Cowboy. Actually, like I say, the unfortunate part about it was the fact that Jill Biden was the one that presented her with the award. Now, this isn't the actual speech, but I thought this was hilarious, and I had to add it. You guys know Joey B. Tunes. I've shown you his stuff before. This is hilarious.
It's our president's handler. He must be lost in the building. Hi everyone, it's Jill. I just wanted to make a quick announcement. Joe's lost again. We do have security on the lookout. He was last seen on camera wandering around the boiler room of the venue. There is a good chance he could be stuck in a wall somewhere in the building. So if everyone could please keep an eye out for him, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, everyone. Looking like...
I thought that was hilarious. Joey B. Tunes cracks me up. one of the most cynical based people I see on here, and he still keeps the comedy going no matter how much they attack him. Of course, he does most of his stuff private now, but so let's see, where was I on here? Bonnie, I salute you. Good job of being the only asbestos island in a sea of fire that is the entertainment business. And of course, the look of surprise on her face tells you that she expected some overproduced song to get it as well. Unfortunately, like I say, this person who presented it was Jill Biden. But I can excuse that. A win is a win. All right. Speaking of Dr. Jill, we have some State of the Union business to go over. Now, we did a roundtable, and a lot of opinions and things were going around and everything like that. But I wanted to show you a few other things that came around, and two of the things that everybody's really noticing, because I mean, the shtick as far as that goes was Biden just, he lied through the whole thing. So this is one of the things that everybody was crazy about. Like I say, of course, we know that our grandpa-in-chief, Brandon, did nothing but lie, even to the effect that the Republicans called him out when he accused them of wanting to kill Social Security and Medicare. Now, I thought it was pretty funny, because there was a lot of the mainstream news outlets that were trying to spin this as if he caught the Republicans in a gotcha moment in order to come together. Oh, well, see, they actually believed him and he got them to admit it. And it was, no, they agree on it because it was never a point of contention to begin with. He tried to smash them and tried to pull them out and tried to shame them when it was bullshit to begin with, and they didn't allow him. So yeah, they like I say, they wanted to portray it as that it was some gotcha moment, that, see, he got the Republicans to agree with him on this one, where they are in complete agreement with old Brandon over the matter. When what really actually happened was that they called Biden a liar and almost booed him off the stage. I think I saw a video, and somebody actually shared this in the aftermath, but McCarthy himself had actually already came out. Not only had told Biden this, but actually went out and I think he had not a press conference, but I think he talked to one of the news heads or whatever like that, but came out and said that he had said that it wasn't even going to be an item on any of the lists, on any of their debates for any of this stuff. So, you know how... let's see. Am I missing something here? Let's see. Did I miss something? No. Okay. And of course now, he's now trying to claim that he's all for the aging population. Oh yeah, all for, we can't do that to the old people. And it's like, why don't you give us a raise once in a while? Why don't you actually pay the actual thing back? Because that's, they always seem to threaten the shit that we paid in, that we're actually they promised us that was supposed to help us do our retirements and all that other thing. It was supposed to be a leg up and everything like that, but they've pretty much, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, even just recently, Nancy Pelosi borrowed from it to be able to impeach Trump. That's just something I read. I didn't look into it or anything like that, as deeply or anything like that, but now he's claiming to be for the aging population. Well, it's actual bullshit too, because he's actually one of the ones, when he was in the Senate, that started taxing Social Security and all of that, and reducing it and taking it away from the elderly. And he wanted to sunset it too at that point. Like I say, he was the one that wrote the legislation to put Social Security payments on it that we weren't getting paid from before, because that money was already taxed before we put it into their coffers. Now when they give it to us, they're going to tax us on it again. That doesn't seem very fair. And of course, they're talking about this raise that we got after, 14, 15 years or whatever. But with the inflation, it basically erased it almost immediately. In fact, it's in the hole still. It went back in the red. So yeah. So no, this guy gets no passes from me, even though there are so many that are protecting this bogus president and his bogus establishment, while making us suffer and taking wins like as if they are making everything better when they actually made it bad to begin with. But that's always been their mantra. Create a problem and pretend that you care about fixing it while picking our pockets to waste it on bullshit and never fixing it. All right. The memorable, of course, like I say, memorable moments other than the Republicans hollering at him. They're screaming and yelling at Marjorie Taylor. Oh, she's so uncouth. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think anything beats Nancy Pelosi ripping up the State of the Union address for Donald Trump. So you guys can go mess yourselves with that one. Bogus establishment. While making us Odyssee's still doing that. It takes itself off of mute for some reason. Why? You got to fix that, guys. Got to fix that. Interrupts my stream every time. How? The only prescription is more buffering. Oh, is it buffering now too? Hey, it doesn't surprise me anymore. These alternatives are getting attacked more and more because they can't control the narrative that way. Not to mention the fact there's so many people that don't believe them anyway. You're never going to talk any of these people into any of this crapola that you're trying to push. You might as well just let it go. Anyway, like I say, memorable moments between like the kiss between Jill Biden and Doug, the second gentleman. Now, people were calling him the first gentleman, but that isn't possible because Jill is the first lady. Do I need to reset the stream? It doesn't look like it. Okay. I'm sorry it's buffering for you. I swear that's Odysee. It's been doing that lately. All right. So yeah, he's the second gentleman because as much as they like to make the mistake, Kamala is not the president. All right. And of course, this scene made everyone wonder what was up with that. I don't believe I've ever seen anybody in the Congress or Senate or any of these situations ever do that. They shake hands and they hug a lot, and they do the side kiss and everything, but I've never seen anybody do this before. I wonder if there... No audio? All right, stream reset. Let me know. Is it working? Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. God, I hate this thing. Come on, Odysee, get with the program. Yeah, mine doesn't tell me how many people are watching on Rumble, so you got to let me know. That's another design flaw. Can't hear me. Still can't hear me? You think so, King of Casuals? You think really she's been that kind of a hoe? She's been a Caucasian Kamala Harris? Okay. I reset the stream. Sorry about that, guys. Like I say, this is Odyssee's. We're acting all funky and everything like that. All right. And here's another kicker. This Doug guy, Dupree or whatever his last name is, he even kissed Kamala, his own wife, with a mask on. Yuck. Although I gotta say, I can't blame him on that one. Can you? Let's see. But Jill? What the... WTF, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot indeed. Only other thing I want to know is, what was the purpose of the bright... Jill? What the... WTF, Whiskey Tango... Come on, Odysee. It seems like if you go over an hour or so, it starts acting up. It's really weird. Stop that, Odysee. Okay. Where was I? Yes. What was the purpose of the 80s prom dress there, Kristen? Everybody went wild over that too, but nobody ever asked her about it. So, but yeah, that was the epitome of the 80s prom dresses back in the day. So what was that all about? All I can think of was look at me. At least she didn't have writing on it like eat the rich or whatever, all that other shit. And I actually saw some headlines. I didn't actually look into it, but did she sit on the Republican side? She is sitting right next to... Who is that there? No, maybe not. I don't know. Well, I see Mitch McConnell in front of her there. So maybe she did. I don't know. Hal says that she looks like a poisonous blowfish. Maybe the lionfish. Blowfish don't have ruffles. Now some are saying, like I say, who cares though where she sat? Most of them are the same uniparty anyway. Anyway, I'm glad that Fib Fest is over, okay? But did you really expect him to do anything than extol his own virtues and lie about everything? I mean, he does have a lifetime of experience with that after all. In fact, this was everybody's favorite part, and I actually saw this and pointed it out, but I don't think everybody on the round table was talking so much. I think they missed this, but this this reminds me of when he was campaigning.
Make no mistake, if you try anything to raise the cost of producing jobs, I will veto it.
Like I say, again, did we expect anything different? No. Hell no. Alright. I know this is kind of old news, but I found a really kind of funny clip when it came to the Chinese spy balloon. Check this out. I love creators. I don't even know who this is. Habitual line crosser from Instagram, but I think this was hilarious.
Did you shoot down my balloon? No, I don't remember any balloon. See, it's just weird, because someone definitely popped my balloon. No, that is strange. Yeah, I didn't do it. Alright, let's stop doing this. Where the fuck is my balloon? Oh, you mean the one that you denied belonged to you and said it belonged to a civilian entity the entire time it was over our country? Yeah, the Navy's picking it up out of the ocean after we used a $200 million aircraft to shoot it down. It's a balloon. Why did you use... Because overkill's underrated, and when you have the largest defense budget in the world, I can throw missiles at anything I want because I am the biggest in the locker room. So that's how you get down, you make pee-pee jokes. All I'm saying is if you want to go back to using 1920s technology on each other, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'll issue out 1911s and slam-fire shotguns with bayonets. Keep the balloon. Call it a gift. That's what I fucking thought. Hey, man.
Oh, yeah. Somebody's based. Somebody's based. Whoever made that is based. There is no overkill. There is only fire and reload. Yes, I agree. All right. Okay. Kevin, are you still here? I told you. I promised you a fashion show that you will probably confuse the shit out of you. It did me, but you know me. I always find the weirdest things when it comes to fashion. Victor and Rolf actually are pretty popular when it comes right down to it. I've seen them in where that department store, Needless Markups, Neiman Marcus. There we go. Yeah. Like I say, this one's going to confuse you because there's some that look really good. I call this the... I'm not real sure. I call this the Drunken Disney Princess line because that's well, you'll see. I'll put the music down. I don't want to get copyrighted. Now, see, doesn't that look normal? That's very normal, very pretty, very Disney princess-ish. This one too. Look at the lines on it. Very Disney princess-ish. This one's pretty too. This one kind of reminds me of 1970s prom dresses, maybe. Again, something possibly that, oh, what is her name? But then there's this. What the hell? She makes it move good and everything like that, but it looks like it's leaving without her. And then, of course, they confuse you again with another Disney princess dress that is absolutely flawless. Love the jewelry. I've got pendants that are kind of that big. But then you get this. What the hell? That's why this is so confusing. Again, another flawless princess dress. A lot of these, like I say, they remind me of almost modern type 70s. And they are bringing the bell bottoms back again. But then you got this. I wonder if that's hurting. You know that her boobs are holding that up like that. But again, really? And now, can you imagine going to a party like this? If they want to keep, I was going to say, talk about social distancing. They would use this for social distancing. But what the hell? Like I say, drunken Disney princess line. Then, of course, they go back to confusing you again with a flawless 50s type dress. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Love the black bow on it. This one's beside itself. What the hell? In fact, the dress moves with her left leg, which is really weird. Look at the look on her face. She's like, I can't believe I have to wear this idiot stuff. But there's another one. What the hell? Unbelievable. Love the shoes. I'm wondering what they use on their skin. All of them are so shiny. Here's another gorgeous 50s princess type dress. And then you got this. Greetings, you're on the air.
Hey, Laura, I just wanted to commentary Kate on those dresses there.
Okay.
As the pawn gay, I have a little bit of insight into the insanity that we're witnessing. It's a commentary. It's a commentary on the idea of fashion itself.
Okay. You sound like you have an inside scoop on this one.
Just as a Cali fag, I understand the psychology behind the entire kind of spell being cast on everybody, right? It's a commentary, right? What is it to wear a dress?
What is it to wear a dress?
What is it to wear a dress, right? You have a dress that you're wearing. It doesn't matter if it's at 45 degrees or extended a meter in front of you. You're wearing the dress.
Okay.
You're wearing the dress the way that you think is the proper way to wear the dress. It looks what you would consider to be beautiful, right?
Right, I guess. Well, yeah, I was saying that some of them were gorgeous, absolute flawless.
And that's how they get you, right? Because these are all subjective mind cells imposed on you. We're looking at a woman who has been encapsulated in this creation, this fabric material, probably laced with all kinds of stiffening devices. And one way or another, she's wearing the dress.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to ask yourself, what is it to be dressed up, or to be what is implemented by the creation of man, especially if those men are twisted and demented in their thinking, far from the teachings of Christ. You understand what I'm saying, sister? It's just a commentary.
Mm-hmm. Lizzie, that's coming up. Welcome to the show, Lizzie. So, Adam, are you watching the chat? You see the broom meme?
Yeah, that's a nice one, Spicy.
I'm gonna put that over. I'm gonna move that over here so you can see it. This is why I love Odysee, because this is what they sent me. This is in the chat. You can send pictures and gifs and things like that. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. And this kind of stuff actually to me is meant to be mocked. It really is, because who the hell? First of all, you know this is going to cost. It's like a piece of art. It's going to cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. But secondly, who the hell's going to wear it except for some award show or you know, some elitist whatever party? You still with me, Adam?
Yeah, no,
oh, okay.
I'm trying to get you to see how she's wearing it, though. Like, she's wearing the dress, right?
Yeah, she's wearing it all right.
They are expressing a commentary on what it means to be wearing a dress and what a dress is. You got to see the way they think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm not real sure who Victor and Rolf.
It's fucking hilarious. I don't know what they're fucking thinking in the audience. But it's all a bunch of money laundering bullshit. We know that.
Probably, yeah. Here, I'm gonna finish it real quick. I'm gonna finish it real quick. Watch Lizzie, because she asked if they did it upside down. They actually, believe it or not, they do. You got to see this. All right. I still want to know why these women are so shiny. But yeah, that does look like a broom. And she's just there you go, Lizzie. She's having trouble seeing. You can tell by the way she's walking, she's not having a good time with this. Can only imagine the look on her face. But yeah, there you go, the upside down one. See, now again, this next one that comes out is absolutely flawless. It's gorgeous. It's 80s. It's actually kind of 80s-ish with the different layers there like that. But it's not off to the side. She's not wearing it upside down. It's not at a 45-degree angle. Now this one, again, then they go back to this. She looks unfinished. They look half dressed, like they got dressed in the dark in some of it. And of course, there you go. There's a white peacock one. Now, if she wore that dress normally, it would be absolutely amazing.
Yep, that's about it. Oh God, they're just playing with the angles. They're just like, how do we make it interesting? They're always searching and just, all right, let's just take something and yeah.
That's nuts. And look at the looks on these women's faces. Some of them are like, I can't believe I have to wear this. So I always somehow or another find great couture, so I have to share it with you guys. And of course, this is laughable. Maybe it's what they wanted. Maybe it's what they wanted people to laugh at. But you know, there's going to be people that are gonna look around, I guess, in some of the fashion magazines, and you're going to get all kinds of explanations as to how daring this was and how artistic and the flow and this and all just kind of bullshit word salad sandwiches that justify this crap, or that at least justify them spending millions of dollars on it.
Yeah, well, I personally think it's a humiliation ritual. It's a humiliation for the models. It's a humiliation for the creators. It's a humiliation for the people in the audience. How far they have drifted from their source. How far. Humiliating.
Well, I could see if they were trying to.
But it's sad too.
Yeah, I could see if they were trying to pass this off as some kind of novelty. Hey, look what we can do. Because it is interesting and it is kind of amazing how they got the dresses to actually be stiff like that and do. Because, you know, any other time if you draped something like that on you, it would just flow down. You know, it would just so they defied gravity when it came to this too. But at the same time, usually they'll do a tongue-in-cheek thing, and this didn't seem like that was the case.
At least it wasn't as creepy as the last one you showed. That's some weird ass like metallic figure things and all kinds of weird shit.
Sparky the Welder says it's kind of like the Emperor Has No Clothes scenario. They all have to play along to stay in the industry. You're probably right about that too. They don't have to like it, though. I want to see footage of them trying to maneuver backstage. Yeah, that's why I say, can you imagine trying to go to a party or a parade or a gala or something like that with those dresses on? Now, again, they could use it for the 6 feet social distancing, but they're not doing that anymore, are they? And these are supposed to be sophisticated people. They're actually supposed to be, the sophisticated people are the ones that are supposed to be doing, making the example for everyone else. Lizzie Longtoes says the upside down one should have had a full moon with no face showing. Yeah. In other words, don't cover the buttocks.
Nice. Yeah, they have these kind of permanent corset things on that I noticed inside of the bass layer, and then they could just kind of add the prop pieces to it. Essentially, was what was going on.
It kind of made me wonder if that was all one piece. They just slide into the part that makes them look like they got the corset on, and it's all.
Change between walking out on stage. They go backstage. They get freaking swapped up, and then they go back out on the walkway. So they have an interchangeable style.
Rocky says, that dress is looking at me cockeyed. Alice just ate too many mushrooms, not the dress's fault. The models get paid well. The only thing to consider is how this may affect their bookings going forward. Have no idea. They have agents for that. I don't think they have to worry too much about whether or not they get it. They just have to show up and try not to fall on the weird heels and shit that they make them wear. But I was going to say, can you imagine if Lizzo was wearing something like this? I mean, that makes me laugh even harder.
Oh, God.
And I wouldn't put it past her either. I was going to say, I wouldn't put it past her either. I mean, for God's sake, they put an orange military tent on her for the Grammys, so...
Yeah, it would be bigger. Exactly.
Yeah.
Lizzo could carry a house model thing.
Yeah. So get us a look at the designer. What is it wearing? Actually, the designers look like normal dudes. Look, one's wearing a jacket. They haven't changed. One's got a sweater and jeans. Actually, he's wearing mom jeans. But yeah, they look normal. They look normal. So thank you, Lizzie. She says she's buying me a milkshake. Yeah, I can't do coffee anymore, so milkshake. I like milkshakes. Love your show. I'm feeling generous today. I joined Rocky's channel today too. Love you guys. You do a great job. Well, thank you so much, Lizzie Longtoes. We couldn't do it without you, and I appreciate you being here. All right. Now, I was going to say, was that all you were going to talk about there, Adam? Do you have anything else to say? You still with me?
No, I mean...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't want to hog up your channel, sister. I always have more to say, of course. I can talk about the outro to say goodbye.
Well, how about some of the other stuff that I covered today?
All right, here. You got the women kind of complaining about the men trying to be women and some feminist stuff, or rant called, or one sister called.
Well, I didn't ask for a recap. Actually, one of the things about that as well is they're not just complaining, and the best part about it is the fact that, as I've said before, only women are going to be able to fight this. We can't expect the men to do it because we've been telling them to go away all these years, and only women are going to be able to do this because they're invading our spaces. If I was one of the swimmers, or if I was one of the competitors or whatever like that, and they started having all kinds of men on the team too, I would be gone. I'm not playing. I'm not playing against you. I'm not playing against this. You've made it unfair, and this isn't what I signed up for.
Yeah, the thing about that is it feels like a woman's fight, but actually it's a fight that is controlled by men. And the unfortunate reality is faggots above the levels of the women. I mean, they could just make a stand, but each individual one is discouraged from banding together with the others. See, that's their tactic. They could, in theory, right?
Mm-hmm.
But these... can I say tag it on your show?
I'm on YouTube. They haven't cut me off for that yet.
Okay. Well, it's those weak men who are subjected to the beast system that control the show when it comes to these kinds of things. You know, ultimately, you know, we're talking about policy boards and things like this. There's always going to be a strong feminist energy, and that's another barrier, because those are the women who understand how the psychology of women works, and they're going to tell you, hey, look, if you want to get along, go along. So that is a characteristic that women have naturally, given by our Creator, you know? And I don't know. If you guys want to fight, fight. Hopefully on our side, we can fight those weak men with real men ideas, you know? I personally, you know, I get called gay in the pond a lot. You know how I interpret that? I'm gay like they used to use the word gay. I'm fucking a good fucking happy man. I have a family. I'm not homosexual. The thing about that is it's a distorted idea given to us by the communists. They know that if they can break down the nuclear family, entire society collapses. They start attacking with ideas. These ideas are rooted ultimately in Satanism. Because there's only one way that God created us to be.
Right.
And it's very, very simple. All things are like this. Electrons and protons interact in a yin-yang formation. Plants, animals, all species are divided like this.
Oh, yeah, that's why I say a lot of times when they want to argue with me, it's like, okay, you go out in that field over there and try and milk that bull for me, okay? Try to see if you can find some eggs out of that rooster over there.
Well, I tried real hard, but I couldn't find them, man.
All right. Let's see. Who put this? Hal, this isn't... Well, it's on YouTube. Oh, no, it's actually on Odysee. This isn't going to get me kicked off. Is it? I don't care, really. All right. When bicyclists... Yeah, say stay in their lane. Uh-oh. How is he pedaling on grass? That was an asshole thing to do.
Jeez, man.
Coondog, welcome. Welcome to the show. Trying to make sure I didn't miss anyone. All right, I'm going to go on now. You still with me, Adam?
I am.
Oh, okay. I'm going to move on to the next topics. I've only got about 15 minutes left on the show for the time being, unless somebody else calls in or you want to stay or whatever like that. Now, I didn't have a whole lot of time to find out about this story. Of course, this is one of those things that's happening while I'm doing all the research, and just about an hour before I started the show, there was an update on it. But this James O'Keefe story that they're trying to fire James O'Keefe now. They're trying to drum him out for the... Some of them say it's for the unmasking of the Pfizer situation where that guy went bazoots when he confronted him in the pizza place. My question is, did some wokies actually take over Project Veritas like they did The Intercept? You remember this actually happened to Glenn Greenwald. Glenn Greenwald established The Intercept and then got a board of people on there, and they kicked him out of his own establishment. So when they did this, they did this very same thing to Glenn Greenwald. He ended up getting some woke people in there, and they decided that his truth wasn't good enough. And they're on the left. Actually, Glenn Greenwald is actually supposedly on the left. But I notice when I read his stuff and I listen to Jimmy Dore, they actually have a lot in common with our side. Now, they want certain other things that we don't want, but at the same token, they have been arbiters of freedom of speech, which is something I don't care what side you're on. If that's your mantra, no problem. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be. He also comes after a lot of the people that are supposed to be progressives that actually still go after the corporate and act actually like the Republicans in some cases. But like I say, they're all one big uniparty anyway. So yeah, the update now that came yet after, like I say, the update on this that just happened to come right as I was getting ready to start the thing, and I just happened to click it on here. It says that James O'Keefe, Project Veritas story, how board members launched coup against him, but they have actually put him on paid leave. He's on paid vacation right now, paid leave. Like I say, from what I can tell, there was also supposedly a leaked email or snail mail or something like that about his behavior. Supposedly he is very paranoid. Of course, who wouldn't be? And he expects people, he yells at people supposedly. He expects people to do their jobs, evidently. There's supposedly like 35 people in the organization now. And they have a board. It's really strange how he would give up the power of his own establishment to a bunch of other people. They also are saying that it's due to the fact that he was trying to fire an accountant or something like that. He was trying to fire an accountant or somebody in the administration part of the establishment, and the board didn't take kindly to that for some reason. I wonder why. What kind of connection is there? That's the rumors anyway, and also something that something about that he's means to the employees, and that he expects people to do their jobs, and he yells, and that he's paranoid.
No, not meanses.
Huh? Oh yeah, he's meanses.
Oh no, he's not too mean, is he?
He's meanses. He expects people to do their fucking job. And I was gonna say, if you don't do your job, you're not gonna be successful. I mean, how do you think it got so successful in all of this? He did the job. He's always doing the job. It seems like he's always humping, you know. And that he yells.
He say it in nice ways. He didn't say it nice.
Yeah, he yells, and he's paranoid. It's like I wonder. Actually, to be honest with you, how many death threats he's actually gotten. All right? I'd be paranoid too, especially when in the business he's in. You know, the government has already raided him once. And, yeah, but nah, that's no reason to be paranoid. You know, it's not paranoia if they're really after you. We'll keep an eye on this situation. Like I say, I haven't delved a whole lot into it. I've seen some of the headlines and things like that, but I didn't have a whole lot of time to actually do a lot of research and everything. Now, one of the things I did want to cover real quick. Go ahead, Adam.
I was going to say, isn't it sad in our day and age people have to be worried about not getting Epstein?
People have to worry about not what?
I'm sorry. It's just, isn't it sad in our day and age people have to worry about not getting Epstein or Seth Rich or fucking JFK, or you know what I mean?
Oh, right, yeah. Well, that's our government for you, and has been ever since the the late 1800s, after we incorporated.
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow.
Okay, now
God's on our side, though.
Who?
God.
Oh yes, that's why we weren't meant to have faith in humanity, and every day they prove it more and more. All right. Anyway, I wanted to touch real quickly on these hearings that they're having about the Twitter files, and some of the folks are absolutely on fire. Of course, you know damn well, you know, they're going to go through all of this and everything like that, but it's all a show. Absolutely nothing's going to get done to these perverts. But I wanted to share with you some of the people that talked at these hearings. This one stood out the most to me, which actually is what actually should be done.
Bottom line is that the FBI had the Biden crime family laptop for a year. They knew it was leaking. They knew it would hurt the Biden campaign. So the FBI used its relationship with Twitter to suppress criminal evidence being revealed about Joe Biden 1 month before the 2020 elections. You, ladies and gentlemen, interfered with the United States of America 2020 presidential election, knowingly and willingly. That's the bad news. It's going to get worse, because this is the investigation part. Later comes the arrest part. Your attorneys are familiar with that. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to spend 5 hours with these ladies and gentlemen doing depositions surely yet to come. But for right now, I yield the balance of my time to my colleague, Mr. Bottom.
You should demand it. It should be demanded. These people should be made an example of, definitely. Because they basically have admitted to everything that they were talking about, as far as even colluding with the FBI and having... and of course, they can't lie about the letters that came from Schiff. They can't lie about the letters that came from Swalwell and all these other people that were trying to hide everything from the American public. And you know why they're doing it. It's so that they can keep their power. That's the only reason. In fact, I still think Schiff. I still think Schiff missed his calling. He should have been a mafia fiction writer. I think he should have been a mafia fiction writer. Huh?
Yeah, that would be dank as hell, writing for the mafia. That makes perfect sense.
Well, he was almost acting like Jimmy... what the hell is his name? Yeah. And he never actually did you dirty rat, but you know, everybody always did that. But that's kind of sort of what he reminded me of when he was talking about the Ukraine thing when they tried to impeach him the first time. I'm listening to him and I'm thinking to myself, this did not happen. Where the hell is this coming from? Was it a parody? And of course, when he got mocked for it, I was just joking. Well, great. That's on public record now. And this was an official hearing to impeach a fucking sitting president, for fuck's sake. I mean, you don't joke around about that shit unless you're actually not serious, which they weren't. They just wanted him out. They didn't care. And of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene, another based person. I'm glad she's there. It's people like this that actually are going to eventually, hopefully, keep the checks and balances going. But, yeah, I'd be angry about this, too, especially in their position. Listen.
It's amazing to me, Mr. Roth, as the head and trust of safety at Twitter,
absolutely.
Your ability, or should I say inability, to remove child porn. Now, here's something that disgusts me about you. In your doctoral dissertation entitled Gay Data, you argued that minors should have access to Grindr, an adult male gay hookup app. Minors? Really? You know, Elon Musk took over...
That tells you what he's interested in.
44,000 accounts that were promoting child porn. You permanently banned my Twitter account, but you allowed child porn all over Twitter. Twitter had become a platform, you said, connecting queer young adults. You also wrote on Twitter in 2010, can high school students ever meaningfully consent to sex with their teachers? In 2021, while you were the director of trust and safety on Twitter, an underage boy and his mother announced a lawsuit against Twitter because Twitter was benefiting from and refused to remove a lewd video featuring this boy and another minor. That is repulsive.
It sure is. But it tells you a lot about who these people are. And you saw him. He's just standing there. He's sitting there indignantly. He probably wasn't even listening. Almost to the point of, how dare you point me out? I hope they do. I hope they do hold these people up and make examples of them. It's what needs to happen. Then you got Lauren Boebert. Now, I know you guys love this lady, but be polite. don't be sexist.
Mr. Matt Taibbi, a respected reporter who published much of the Twitter files, said, quote, Twitter's contact with FBI was constant and pervasive, as if it were a subsidiary. Now, I want to better understand why he would suggest that. Mr. Roth, while at Twitter, how many meetings did you have with the FBI?
I couldn't say for sure, but I would
More
say
than 10?
That's a
More
reasonable
than 20?
estimate. I couldn't say for sure.
More than 50?
That seems a bit high.
Many meetings with the FBI. Well, we know how many FBI agents worked at Twitter while you were there?
I don't believe any active FBI agents.
Former FBI agents. How many worked there while you were there?
Only the one that
I'm aware of, perhaps 2.
Well, we know of at least 9 because they started the BU group chat, BU for Bureau. Now, Mr. Roth, did the FBI ever ask you to share information like users' communication data without going through proper legal channels?
No, they did not, and I would have refused if they had.
Yeah, right.
That's correct. I see that you denied Agent Chan's request for access to Twitter's data feed. What isn't that you would deny it, it's that the FBI would even ask you for the private data of American citizens without going through legal channels of the law. Now, I want to remind you, Mr. Roth, that you are under oath. Did the FBI ever ask you to do anything that was illegal or questionably legal?
I'm not a lawyer, but certainly not to the best of my recollection or knowledge.
Now, from the hearing that I've been a part of today, it's almost impossible to tell where the FBI ends and where Twitter begins. We have Mr. Baker here,
I know that's
former
right.
FBI agent, and there seems to be a revolving door between the FBI and Twitter itself. Even Mr. Baker said that there was no collusion with the federal government and Twitter. But Mr. Baker, that's you. You are the collusion between the federal government and the FBI. And now with it, this is such a problem because we're seeing censorship all over. Mr. Roth, Miss Gaddy, did either of you approve the shadow banning of my account at Lauren Boebert? Yes or no?
No, I did not.
Not to the best of my recollection.
Well, let me refresh your memory because on March 12th, 2021, and Mr. Roth, I know you looked at it because Fascist Twitter 1.0 had a public interest exceptions policy, which means for members of Congress to be shadow banned, it had to go before you, Mr. Roth. So I'll ask again, did you shadow ban my account? Yes or no?
Again, not to the best of my recollection.
So the answer is, Mr. Roth, yes, you did. I found out last night from Twitter staff that you suppressed my account for this tweet. It's a freaking joke about Hillary Clinton being angry that she couldn't rig her election. It's a joke. But in response, being the sinister overlords that you all are, you placed a 90-day account filter so I could not be found. And now we see here that Twitter staff said the visibility filter on my account excluded me from top searches, prevented notifications for non-followers, and much more. This is considered an aggressive visibility filter. You silenced members of Congress from communicating with their constituents. You silenced me from communicating with the American people over a freaking joke. Now, who the hell do you think that you are? Election interference? Yeah, I would say that that was taking place because of you four sitting here. The Hunter Biden laptop story was suppressed. A sitting member of Congress was suppressed. A sitting president was banned from Twitter. You know, I bet that Putin is sitting in the Kremlin wishing he had as much election interference as you four here today.
Yep. And the funniest part about it is she said that is the fact that while they were suppressing everything and doing this, they were claiming that Russia was at fault for what they didn't want to happen, which was that Trump got into office. That was something that they didn't expect. They had no idea that they couldn't control it. They thought they were controlling it. They thought that everything was going hunky-dory because they were watching the polls, or they were making the polls. But at the same time, while they're doing all of this stuff, they're blaming Russia for it. I'm not surprised Putin doesn't like us right now, because they have literally thrown everything that's been wrong about the politics over here to Russia, when it's all of their fault. So yeah, if I was Russia right now, I would tell the United States to go fuck themselves. All right, I never leave without a little bit of levity. So I got a couple of jokes here for you that I found. Actually, this, well, you guys will enjoy this, but I was gonna say it is one of those things that came over my feed and was absolutely perfect for the theme for tonight. So check it out.
They say showing your toes isn't ladylike, but if you don't show your toes, how are they gonna know you're a lady? Introducing camel shows. The camel toe enhancing inserts that fit straight into your pants.
This guy's hilarious.
It was so small, flat. It's like it wasn't even there. But not anymore. No more wasting time guessing which clothes are going to give you the camel toe you want. Choose from many unique models, including Hidden Valley, the Flying V, Catcher's Mitt, Panty Gobbler, Puffy Taco, Denim Bagel, Lobster Claw, and last but not least, Puppet Mouth. So if you're sick of stuffing your bike shorts with pizza dough, grab your shows and show up your toes.
And that's definitely one thing I wouldn't be doing is touching. But yeah, that was weird. Jude, 69er, welcome to the show. New face in my crowd over here. Police, I appreciate you being here. Yep, there it is. Exactly. Coon Dog. There you go. All right, next joke. This was hilarious. I don't know who did this, but this is hilarious.
You can see from a certain angle that it's actually shaped like a pecker.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, that's not a woodpecker. It looks like someone...
Credits! Complete with 2 balls! What is that? That looks just like an enormous...
Willie. Yeah. What's that? Wow, it looks like a giant...
Wang! Pay attention.
I was distracted by that enormous...
Dick!
Yeah.
Take a look at it starting.
Oh my God, it looks like a huge...
And he says that was not part of the design, that it just ended up turning out that way, which is pretty magical when you think about it. Sure.
Yeah, right. That wasn't part of the design. Yeah, right. Tell me another one. That wasn't part of the design. Actually, the bleeped out word was cock. All right, here's a good joke for you. Here's a cool joke for you. Don't drink and drive.
3 drunk men get in a taxi. The driver notices they're drunk, so he tries to take advantage of them, turns the car on, turns it off, and tells them that they're here. The first guy thinks he's here, pays the taxi driver, and gets out of the car. The second guy thinks he's here, says thank you, and gets out of the car. And then out of nowhere, the third drunk guy slaps the driver. The driver starts panicking and thinks the guy knows that he tried to scam him when the guy says, "Next time, don't drive so fast. You could have killed us."
Whoops! American Ink Music, welcome to the show. You're a little late. I'm getting ready to end here. I've got one more video to show you. So what did your wife buy you? He's like, guys, gals, guess what my wife bought me. So don't keep us in suspense. Oh, a mandolin. How cool. It's purty with the little F holes. Cool. Mandolin goes good in some of our music. All right. Last but not least, this one's funny. It's about pot smoking animals. Check it out.
So there's a koala smoking a blunt up in a tree, and a lizard comes along and asks him what he's doing. The koala tries to explain it to him, but the lizard doesn't understand. So he just convinces the lizard to take a couple hits. After he gets high, the lizard says, "I need a drink, man." So he goes on down to the river to get a drink. While he's drinking, he stumbles and falls into the water, and an alligator sees him and goes, "Man, what's wrong with you? Like, you can't even walk." Well, the lizard says, "Man, I just got some stuff from the koala. Why don't you go and see him for yourself?" The crocodile goes on over to see the koala and asks him what's going on. But when he walks up, the koala just says, "Shit, man, how much water did you drink?" So there's a koala.
He's all swole and shit. All right, you guys, that's about it for me for right now. Don't forget to support the folks on Rougaroo's interactive schedule, and be sure to head on over to the Drunken Rocky Show on Odysee right here on Odysee. Next, let me know if you want me to cover anything. Shoot me something in my emails. Don't forget to send me your stingers and your commercials. Please make sure it's not something that gets me kicked off of YouTube, but then again, I really don't really care. Odysee is really my home, and if I can convert everybody over to Rumble, that would be awesome. In fact, I noticed that Odysee is actually doing a little bit of things just like YouTube too now, where like when you finish watching a video, all the other videos pop up in the square so you can go and check it out. I guess that's the recommendations for you now. That's something that YouTube does, that now Odysee is now doing. I appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for being here. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the comments, the phone calls. Don't forget to send me your clips and commercials again for mine and your shows. And of course, you know how to support the channel. All my links are below. Click on some of them, will ya? Appreciate you guys becoming the members and everything like that. Maybe if I grow big enough, I will start being able to do exclusive stuff for you. I'd love to be able to do that, actually. All right. And let's see. Yep. God bless all of you guys, and God bless America. And until next time, I wish you peace, love, health, and music. AMF.